Hello and welcome to the latest in my series of pointless demo impressions, because you could just go and download and play the demo yourself, but who doesn't want to listen to a boring teenager ramble on about them? You'd be crazy not to. So this is Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine. It is developed by Relic Entertainment, published by THQ. Relic are the guys who were behind the pretty successful Dawn of War titles on the PC. I say pretty successful, I think they're actually very successful. For those of you who aren't aware, the Warhammer 40,000 universe, I believe, originated with the tabletop war game, and has, over the years expanded. It's had books, it's had a huge amount of background information put into it, it's just a huge universe, and I would imagine it's been a challenge for Relic to make a game that's accessible for people who aren't familiar with the universe, yet pleasing still for hardcore fans who are familiar with it. But yes, in this game you play as Captain Titus of the Ultramarines, which is like a chapter or an army of Space Marines, and you're fighting against hordes of orcs. The gameplay is kind of like a unique mix of melee combat and third-person shooting. There isn't a cover system. You're meant to be, right in the thick of battle. As you can see here, it's very, frantic. There's a lot of enemies. It's sort of really chaotic, but it's really fun. It's very intense. There's kind of like the switch between third-person shooting and melee combat is pretty seamless. You can go from shooting orcs like I am here to whacking out the chainsword and smashing the shit into them. What you can see there is the Fury mode. Basically, as you chain together kills, you fill up a meter there. That's in the bottom left hand corner of the screen. And once that's full, you can activate Fury mode, which is basically a really powerful melee attacks, or I think you can also use it to sort of engage a sort of bullet time mode or some kind of slow motion shooting mode, which I unfortunately didn't try. What you're also seeing here is an execution. Once you've sort of weakened enemies to a certain state, press the B button will execute them, and you also use that to regain health. You do have a recharging shield, as you can see there, just recharged, but your health, you can only gain that back by performing executions, which is a good incentive to actually get into the thick of the battle, as opposed to just crouching behind an object to regain health. As you can see there is another execution. Overall, I'd say neither the shooting nor the melee combat is not particularly revolutionary in any way, but it's the blending of the two that makes it so good. It's very satisfying combat. Your character feels very heavy, very powerful, with a sort of combination of sound, animation and controls, which is important as he is a Space Marine. Visually, it's pretty good visually. As you can see, there's lots of kind of nice particle effects, the gore effects and the muzzle flashes, or sort of, I'm using a power axe there, so you've got a lot of particle effects and bright lights, and that was a pretty devastating attack there. So in terms of that, it looks pretty cool. The environments are a little bit kind of bleak. There's a lot of browns, greys, but you can't really help that, really. It's the grim far future, so it's kind of meant to be like that. But as you can see, there is a lot of colour during combat, which is good, which is nice. Overall, I think the game looks really good. It sounds pretty good as well. All the weapons and all the impacts, everything, sounds very powerful. Sounds as it should. Also, the orcs sound exactly. The voice acting for the orcs sounds exactly as I would have imagined it from my brief experience with reading up on the Warhammer 40k universe. What you see here is the jump pack. You get a mission where you can use the jump pack, which allows you to shoot yourself into the air, and you can then sort of ground pound. You don't get a great deal of control. It's literally a one button press which shoots you up a fixed distance, but still pretty cool. You can get to higher ground, and you can use it to kind of smash enemies from the air. which is pretty cool. I believe the full game has class-based competitive multiplayer, which I'm interested to try. Unfortunately, I don't think there's a multiplayer demo or anything like that, but that should be pretty interesting with the unique gameplay. That seems like something that would be pretty unique compared to other multiplayer experiences that are out there at the moment. I believe also the campaign might be playable in co-op, which would be very fun, you know, to get, I don't know, 3 or 4 friends together. I don't know how many players it allows with this kind of gameplay. It would just be really enjoyable. From the demo and the information I've read on the full game, you know, Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine may not necessarily bring forward the genre with anything hugely innovative or hugely unique, but it's the way that all the elements are combined together so successfully that makes this a joy to play, and something that's definitely going on my games to buy list at some point. And even if you don't have any interest in the 40k universe, I would absolutely recommend you pick up this demo and try it for yourself, because just like I said, none of the individual elements are incredibly groundbreaking, but it's the way that they are used together so seamlessly that makes it very enjoyable. Anyway, the full game comes out on the 6th of September in North America and the 9th in Europe. Once again, appreciate any feedback, yeah, go and download the demo, play it, have fun, and thank you very much indeed for watching.